as the Venezuelan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great. It was so funny.
Undercooked chicken? Jail.
Yeah. Go to jail. Yeah.
Go to jail.
Yeah. Nice. We'll just do that, shall we? Just say, go to jail? And conference calls this week, and other people have been talking about their gardens, and I said I've not got a garden, and it was funny at the time.
Maybe you had to be there in a
I
garden.
couldn't be there. I
No,
couldn't
because you don't have one.
Couldn't be there.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm doing a gig tomorrow night. Are you going to try and watch it
We
on
will
Twitch?
try and watch it. Of course we will.
Yeah. Can you send us details for it?
Yeah, send us details and how to do Twitch.
Yeah. I think Fred's joining.
I think Fred's joining.
Yeah, Fred's joining.
Hey,
Hey, Fred.
hey.
Hi, Fred.
How are you doing?
Really good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Hey, really good, thank you.
Good. Hi.
You've met Dan. I think you've met Dan before.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
This is Toby.
Hi, Fred. Toby.
Hi. I like all your backgrounds. Those are great backgrounds.
We're just waiting for Andy, who can't seem to get in at the moment. This has never happened to us before. He can always just get straight in, so we don't know what's going on. So
I think it's always a little spotty, this kind of thing.
yeah. So Toby's our technical guy, so he's going to try and sort that out, aren't you, Tobes?
I've sent him a thing. I figure if he can't join in a couple of minutes, we'll just sacrifice him, I guess.
I am early. He is so far he's on time.
That's true. That's very generous of you, Fred. We would have just started without him, but
You are early. Good on you.
You know what it is? There's always like a problem, I feel like, trying to get on. And then I didn't want to be in a panic at 1 o'clock. It's going, where's the password? How come this isn't working? You know, all that stuff. So I'd rather just be a little early and at least we know that this is working.
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, well done. You're not the one in the panic. Andy is, because he wasn't. He didn't want to do any prep.
He
or
wanted
anything.
to be early so that it just felt like you just join in.
Aww. Poor Andy.
He's our most aggressive comedian friend. So, you know, without him, it would just be a really nice podcast. There'll be no fear, no worries about kidnap, nothing. It'll just be pleasant, and so it's not a great loss.
Where is everybody? Like, what cities are you in?
So I'm in central London, so very, very close to where nothing is now happening. There's no things going on anymore.
Yeah.
And Tandy and I are both in Eastbourne on the south coast, so just along the road from Brighton's the biggest town. So, yeah, I'm not really in the spaceship. That's in case.
Okay. I am on a spaceship, but I put this background on. It looks like a house.
We were watching live Trump live last night, and he was going to say that America's going to kind of come out of lockdown, but it took him so long to say it that we went to bed in the end. So we weren't sure what's happened yet. It's
like mostly mixed messages, and there's so much news that I try not to. There's not much I can't keep track anymore. So this is really not very grown up of me, but I just kind of ignore what he says. And I just think more local. So like when the California governor talks, then I'm like, okay, this is what's happening in here. So I just focus on that.
I've heard they've said that the California governor's done a good job so far. He's one of the guys that's been given good praise. Is that right, for dealing with it?
He's done well, and I think California's had it easier, or at least Los Angeles, just because it's easier to have space and distance. Everyone's in their car. People's houses are further apart. I think it's just a little easier to deal with than New York. New York is just it's so dense. What is your street situation? Like if you go out to the market, what do you see? Like, are people social distancing and they wear masks or no?
I'm probably the only one that's gone out of our household really to do the shopping and stuff, and occasionally popped into the office just to pick up paperwork. And I've worn a mask and gloves because I've got them. And and things like that. And about probably just under half the people I've seen out in the supermarkets are wearing it. They're all social distancing pretty well, although I was talking to one of the checkout ladies in the supermarket, and she was saying some people just have no idea and are really up close, and they've got big plastic barriers and everything. So.
Yeah,
they have
some
it
shops, it really is carnage sometimes.
Yeah,
really.
It's I get very stressed out. Anyone
yeah.
that can't just figure out a basic rule. I'm a process guy. I'm a good logical rules man.
Yeah,
I apply rules to my life and then don't understand why other people can't.
I like it a little bit. I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing for the good of society. Let's go for it. It's not that hard.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that Dan and I, we've got a house with a garden. But last year I was in a flat like Toby and Andy, and I think that must be really hard. Like when it's sunny, you can't even stay outside or anything. So
Andy's here.
I'm here now. I'm so sorry. I had to download. I basically had to hack into the mainframe of the internet just to kind of redirect here. So I'm really sorry, but I'm here now, and
Great.
you're still, there's still a minute, as Fred was saying. Like you were early anyway, so
Yeah, you did okay.
thank you. Bless you all. I'm so glad to be here. I live in 1890s Victorian London, as you can tell by the way I'm dressed. So
I have to scroll to see you. I don't know about anyone else.
I wouldn't bother.
Welcome to the Comedy Driven Life podcasting. This is lockdown still. We're all still in lockdown, the USA and the UK. And I just want to say I've been asked to compare today. It's the usual suspects plus a very special guest. I don't know why I've been asked to compare. I am the most scatty of us all. So who knows how long this could be? It could be 5 minutes. It could be 5 hours. Oh, by the way, Fred, if you say something and you don't like it, this is edited, so you can just stop and you can just start again. It's brilliant.
or if someone else says something you don't like, ask them to stop and start again.
I actually just want you to edit out the parts where I'm quiet, so it doesn't seem like I'm a dummy, like that I'm always talking. Just edit it so I just seem like a talkative, intelligent person.
Yeah.
I say stuff that's not that good, and then I edit in everyone's faces going or laughing.
Sometimes you edit in stills of other celebrities as well, don't you? So it always feels like we've got Sylvester Stallone or like Her Majesty the Queen. There's always someone who pops up as a bit of an Easter egg.
It's nice to have a live action celebrity actually today. It's very nice.
Yeah, he's real, guys. He's real. Yeah, so I've got some. I wanted to say as well, thank you to the NHS. Thank you to all the key workers that are helping keeping us safe at the moment. This is Fred Armisen, everyone.
Hello, Fred. Wow.
Hi, Fred.
You have to make a noise, I think,
Hi.
Fred. So, yeah.
Okay. Hello. Hi. Hello. I'm waving and also saying hello.
I've got some questions to ask you guys.
Does anyone know how to get to 100% completion on Red Dead Redemption 2? I'm on 95%, and I've done all the story mode. I've done most of the side missions. I'm basically spending my days collecting orchids, and that's not how I thought my life would go at this point. But if anyone's got any...
Might have you missed something? Sometimes there's weird ones where that's really weird.
Have you shot all of the NPCs?
I've shot all of them. It's basically Westworld now. I've gone so crazy they're not even respawning.
And end credits haven't come up yet, right? Like
they have. I've done that. So I'm just on the. I don't know whether I've got to skin some extra animals. I've even seen the bit which you're in, Fred. So I've done it all.
What about there's something weird with the photographs that you collect and like the postcards.
Yeah.
I don't have a handle on what I'm supposed to do with those because some of the photos you turn over and there's like an inscription. I don't know if that's part of it. Oh, that's really weird that you're that close. But if credits rolled, maybe you're good.
Maybe I'm at the center of the maze. Maybe I have managed to complete it, and the game just thought, you know what, this guy's spent, infinite hours on it. We'll just give him the win.
Yeah,
we'll give him the victory.
Just give it to him.
Yeah.
There was one mission that was so hard. There was a guy who was in a cult, in an 1800s cult. You had to go up to the hill, get him, not kill him, and he kept escaping. And I get on my horse, and everything gets in the way. It is so annoying. It took me forever to do that one. That was one of the hardest ones.
Yeah. So what was it like being in it and then getting a copy of that game?
It was, well, first of all, to be in it, I was in the first one as in one of the shops. I'm one of the voices. But that was an example of asking to be in something. That was something where I knew one of the guys who works on the game. And years ago, I heard a friend of mine, David Cross, was in one of the Grand Theft Autos. And I was like, you got to get me in one of those. So I became friends with this guy, Laszlo. And over the years, he's always put me in. It's been really, really nice. And then for Red Dead Redemption, it's the first time I had this whole, you're in a studio and they're like with all the green screen and all, just like you see in the movies.
Yeah.
And, it's as great as you can imagine. Like, it's the coolest thing. Also, your work day is like, first of all, you have to do everything. You do all these motions, and then you just go through the script. You do different takes of it. It's like filming a movie, but it was out on Long Island, which was also really weird. It wasn't in LA, it wasn't in New York City. It was like away from everything, and it was just the best. And I love that game. I can't believe how good it is.
Yeah.
I can't believe how good it is.
What was it like then meeting yourself in the game when you...
That is a weird feeling, because there's just this part it's almost like looking at a photograph that isn't exactly right. So it's like a rendition. And then also my movements, I'm like, I don't remember exactly moving like that, but I guess that's what it turned into. So it was pretty cool.
That's amazing. It's
Yeah.
it's so immersive, isn't it? Sorry, Tandy, I wasn't trying to jump on your questions there. But I was just...
No, that's okay. I was just
Right,
going
we'll
to...
cut that. That was nice.
I was going to warn...
Sorry.
I was going to warn Fred not to make friends with you, because you might be interested in talking about it right now, Fred, but after 365 days, it might wear a little bit thin. Even though you love the game and you're in it, we kind of give Andy a little time limit where he's allowed to talk about Red Dead Redemption, and then he's not allowed to talk about it anymore. So he's really chuffed that you're here today, because it probably means...
I'm really happy. And just being able to speak to human people as well, because my next door neighbours are looking for their rabbits. Domestic rabbits. What they don't know is that I skinned them and tried to sell them at the grocers, just having been in the game for so long. So it's nice to be brought out of what I now consider the real world.
Great.
And back into this fiction that we call life.
Yeah. This version of it.
Okay.
What's that sound?
Yeah, that's you, Toby, isn't it?
That's me. London's really quiet, which means that all of the sirens, whenever there's kind of an emergency, all the police can just get straight through. They still like to put the sirens on, though, I guess, just to let everyone know that they're out.
This is a really corny thing to say. I know this is the ultimate cliche thing, but isn't it crazy that we are so far from each other and we're going through exactly the same thing?
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Yeah, you're stuck on 95% completion as well, then, are you? That's the tip.
I haven't even gotten that far.
Oh.
I haven't even gotten that far.
Yeah. Is it going to affect? Again, this is not a political thing, but a logistical thing. Is it going to affect budgets for police and things like that? All this pandemic stuff. Is that, at what point will they have to cut budgets? Because I live in a county called Derbyshire, which is sort of in the middle of England, and we already have restrictions on budget there. So some of the policemen will now turn up to crime scenes on bicycles rather than in cars.
Yeah.
Which is fine if it's like a kitten stuck in a tree, but if you're trying to arrest somebody, I mean it's more difficult, isn't it? Like you're nicked, hop on.
That's a good question. I had the assumption that the budgets will go up because people will be like, oh my God, bad things can really happen. So we're going to need the police. I have an office here in LA, and it got broken into. oh, this is such a boring story. And they caught the guy, and we were all supposed to go to court to say, this is the guy, he stole bicycles and computers and stuff. But the whole thing got canceled. The whole thing was just like, I feel like it was just not a priority. They were just sort of, we're just not going to deal with this. I wasn't upset about it. It was just sort of like, that's how it is right now. Like all that stuff goes out the window. Yeah, you have to let go. I think in the beginning it was like letting go of things and kind of hoping that you wouldn't have to, and then realizing, okay, that's fine, I'll let go of that. And then after a while it's just like, wow, this is crazy. And of course I'll stay home and I'll do as much as I can to make sure that all my family is safe. I will. Andy, no one knows what he'll do, but then it kind of all sinks in. But then there's that glimmer of hope sometimes, like, if they find a vaccination, then we might be able to still. I mean, Dan and I were going to go to Slovenia and do some filming for our little sketch show thing. But we can't, or we know we probably won't be able to. But that's fine. Like, people are really ill, and we're very healthy. Yeah. But it is strange. It's really odd. Do you have to do like homeschooling stuff? Yeah. It's really, I'm not good at that at all. Like, I didn't concentrate at all through any of my actual school. So I just get Dan to do it all. While Dan has to actually work as well. So trying to balance managing the house, being a teacher and working as well. It's going shopping. You do all the shopping. He does all the shopping. All the cooking. I wouldn't know where to queue. I would definitely queue in the wrong places, or I wouldn't see the queue. I'd walk straight in. I'd be arrested by now if I was the one that was going out. Like, through no, malice or anything, but it's good that it's Dan that's doing it. Okay, if you were an animal during lockdown, what would you be and why? Well, probably, this has gone on me. I'd be a cat, I think, because I like cats. That's a boring answer. No, don't cut that out. Right, well done thinking. Anyone else? I think that's pretty good. I think cat is a really good answer. Oh, thank you very much. You can't keep them in. We've had directive. I don't know if you've had this, Fred, but we've had the cats can potentially spread the virus. Keep your cats in it if you want, or if you can. But cats are insatiable. They will just get out any way possible. Yeah. So it's not a bad option. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any pets? Do you have any cats, Fred? I don't. I love cats, but I don't have any. I'm allergic, but I do love cats. It's a shame. My cat has just wandered in. Oh, wow. It's like, my ears are burning. Toby, can I ask? Toby? Yeah. Can I ask, because I can see that Dan and Tandy have dressed to be like Fred. Yeah. And I've dressed like one of the Saint-Denis townspeople from Red Dead Redemption 2, just because that's how I like to get into character when I'm playing. Yeah. Who have you come as? You look like the guy who got killed first in Con Air. This is just what I wear before bed. This is just how I go to bed. Okay. Yeah. Because I find the moon very bright. You look like it was a straight pick between you and Malkovich, and he got it. I hate Malkovich. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Hate that guy. I'd be an otter. That's my answer to that question. An otter. An otter, yeah. They're like renegade beavers. Well, where would you be? Oh, I'd be at home. I'd be doing exactly what I was doing, although that makes it more difficult because they don't have the opposable thumbs necessary for gaming, really. So I've certainly talked myself into a corner here. Are they the ones that balance stones? 95%. Yeah. They break stuff on there. They sort of. Yeah, that's really cute. I like them as well. Yeah, I tried to buy one, Andy. Yes. Well, yeah, I did try. Well, I tried to buy an otter, and I was asked to meet them under the viaduct to come alone. It was me. You said it was me that did that. I hate to tell you, I'm the one that has to go through hours of footage and replay it and edit it. It was me. You told me I did that, and I went along with it. And now you're ruining I'm so that. Sorry. Do that bit again. Come on. What am I supposed to say? Oh yes, you had to meet them under the viaduct, didn't you? And come alone. And
Yeah, we had to get the SAS involved in the end. I'm sorry about that, Tandy. Next time we'll just go to Pets at Home.
That's okay.
Yeah, that'll be good. I just think though, as otters, they've got quite a lot of range. If you see them as characters, they've got quite a lot of range because they look quite cute. They can play that homely, stay-at-home pet, but they're also quite badass when they need to be. I mean, a gang of otters can kill a crocodile.
What?
Is
Really?
that true?
No, honestly.
What's it?
Yeah.
Gang.
A gang, yeah. I don't know if they refer to themselves as gangs or,
That's the collective noun for otters, is it?
yeah. Is that or a book club? I don't know what they call themselves.
A book club of otters.
I don't know. Anyway, leave me out of this.
Fred, what would you be? Which animal?
I've had some good time to think about it. And first I thought bird, but then I was like, that's almost like a cliche of like, the freedom of being a bird. So I said, forget that. Then I thought and voted against a mouse because first I thought people are eating at home, so there's plenty of food around that they're throwing out and then it's in the garbage. But I also think that people are so into cleanliness, they would be mouse traps and rat traps and stuff. So around here in California, there are lizards around in yards and like in front of the house. And I thought nobody hates lizards. No one wants to kill them. No one's freaked out by them. I think people are freaked out by snakes, but lizards kind of have like a free pass all around the world. People are like, yeah, they're great. They look cool. They can adapt to any temperature. So I'm gonna say lizard.
That's really good.
Very good.
I'd be a goat, actually. I think I'd be one of those goats in that village in Wales where they've taken over the village, where they've. You seen there's some news stories about a bunch of because no one's in the village. A load of goats are coming and they're eating all the shrubs and all of the hedges and they're just wandering around the town.
It's so cute.
I can't choose between a giraffe or a baboon.
No one's going to sneeze in your face if you're a giraffe, are they? Really?
Well, that was the one where I thought that's very easy to just do the distancing thing.
Yeah.
Just be up there. Only be worried about those in the third, fourth stories of flats. I'll just carry on walking. Keep your windows closed as I go past.
Yeah.
I think giraffe is that. Yeah, that's my final answer.
Okay. What was the reasoning behind the baboon?
Baboons are very aggressive. Again, it's more around making sure that people don't come near me. They can be very, very violent, and they can kill. They very easily could just kill anything.
Okay, here's my next question. If you had to do an office job, but every 10 words you had to whisper, "Help me, lovelies," what would it be?
What would the job be?
Yeah, what would the job be if every 10 words you had to whisper, "Help me, lovelies"?
Hostage negotiator. Just kind of, let them know how it feels,
But office based.
Office based. Oh yeah.
Remote.
Yeah. I mean, you can get an outside broadcast, can't you? You can get these kind of porta cabin things, but yeah, I think if you're a hostage negotiator and you really want to, play the psychological mind games with the hostage takers, just whispering to them, "Help me, lovelies," that's a power play that they're not expecting, I think.
My uncle was a hostage negotiator. He might even still be one. I don't know. I saw him when I was 17 for a few months, and he told me that he really loves me, but he doesn't want to do emails.
Stories. Did he just tell you some stories when you were 17? You believed them?
I did believe them, yeah. He was very convincing. But he said to me, he loved me very much, but he doesn't do calls or emails. And that was the last time I spoke to him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a liar, Tandy.
Oh.
I guess now he might have changed.
Well, anyway. Dan?
Receptionist, I think, just because it would make it awkward whenever I'm putting someone through on the telephone, I think. So, hi, Mr. Terence, your 10 o'clock's here. Help me, lovelies.
Yeah.
It's the best question I've ever asked in my life. I love this one. Who's next?
You pick.
Oh, okay. Andy.
Well, I've already said hostage negotiator. You really need to keep what I'm saying.
I don't listen to them, and I always feel terrible when we come off and like I go to watch TV or something and I'm like, that was so bad, that podcast. And then like I go back the next day and I watch it all through and I'm like, these guys, they're great.
Yeah. You'd be good as a game show host if like the prize was a total lowering of someone's self-esteem. If that was like the prize that you could win, you'd be brilliant at helming that show.
What you've got there, everyone, is a review of how this is going at the moment, according to Tandy.
Yeah.
Oh, can I do a live edit? Can I get you there in the top corner, Toby? Can I get you to take your glasses off now? We've all had a laugh at that.
Yes.
Put them on your head or something.
I would probably be Smeagol's secretary. Just take the calls that Smeagol might be getting. Well, because I can't do the, the precious. I can't do that. But Help Me Lovelies feels like a second-rate Smeagol.
Yeah.
Trying to
like
help
a homesteader's Smeagol.
Yeah,
exactly.
Take his calls when he's away from the office, that kind of thing. Make sure that he's got his calendar's all up to date. And
is it Smeagol?
Or
Isn't
Gollum?
that the one from Peter Pan? Yeah.
You're thinking of Smee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess
short for Smeagol.
I mean, maybe I'd be Smee as well if I had to, if I had the same kind of responsibilities, but on a ship.
There's probably some kind of article out there arguing that Hook and Lord of the Rings is part of the same expanded universe. There'll be some kind of absolute nerd who's got 5 reasons why that's the case.
Fan theory.
Yeah.
We watched some stuff about murderers last night, which is really unlike us. And then after Dan had gone to sleep, because he always falls asleep really quick, I started Googling, which isn't a good idea really, Googling about that particular murderer. And then I read loads about her and like lots of details about her life. And then when I got to the very end, I realised it was just like fan fiction. And I was so angry because it was so disturbing. And I was like nearly crying reading it. And I was like, who does this? Who does fan fiction about real murderers? It's just sick. Who are these people?
Yeah.
That's horrible to call it fan fiction as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I misunderstood, but it felt like this person had no reason, no connection. They just, afterwards, they just put, if you guys want me to write chapter 2, just say so in the comments below. And I was expecting the comments below to be like, how dare you like make up this rubbish about someone's life? But it was just like, yeah, babes, that was really good. Yeah, I'd read another one.
like a terrible icebreaker at a conference. So who's your favourite murderer?
There's a Murderpedia site. I didn't go on it, but it's called Murderpedia. I think, goodness knows, I think it's a list of murderers probably and information about them. That would be my guess. I'm quite astute like that. Fred, what was the question? Oh, yeah. Fred, which office job would you have?
I don't know if this is an office job, but I would do a caterer for banquet events. Because if you're working, if you ask people for help, they assume that you mean to put out the glasses or the plates. So it wouldn't be abnormal for every once in a while to say like, help me, my lovelies. And also there's nothing condescending about it because you're just all, catering workers. So it's it's endearing.
Yeah.
Smashed it. I think
that's
do
strong answer. Strong answer there, Fred.
Yeah.
You've properly blended into society. We'd never notice.
Yeah, no one would know. But in honor of your, did you say it was your uncle who was a hostage negotiator?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my impression of a person who's got a hostage who's being talked out of, of doing this. Like in honor of your, I'll imagine it's your uncle.
Okay. My uncle was so good at what he did. Thank you.
That was excellent.
I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
And the relief that I was feeling.
That moment must happen where they're like, oh, this guy's really talking me out of it. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I never thought about that. You're right. And then they have to put the gun down.
And how bad would you feel on your way home?
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh God, that guy really talked some sense into me.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Would you rather have a bath on the top of your dwelling, like where you live, or a shower in your bathroom with a tame gorilla?
Roof. Easily. That's the easy one. Because no matter how tame a gorilla is, the amount of waste that they have, that is no joke. The amount of waste that they must be incredible. Must be intense. Probably not even, it's probably too much for a toilet. You would have to physically clean it out and take it outside.
Yeah.
A toilet couldn't handle it.
You sound like you've had experience with gorillas.
No, this is what I gather. This is what and I'm sure a zoologist would be like, no, you're exactly right. It's actually worse than you think.
Yeah. I'm going to go for the bath on the roof, even though my roof is slanted. So, I mean, I've got about 3 seconds to enjoy it before I tumble to my death. But it's still preferable to a gorilla. And also, do you ever really know a gorilla? Like, they say that they're tame, and they're like, oh, no, it's fine. You know, we're friends, but...
Tame for a gorilla, I'm sure, is still pretty intense.
Yeah.
That's a good name for a band, though. Tame for a gorilla.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not really a fan of baths. Like, because you end up probably within the first couple of minutes soaking in your own filth. I don't like the outside. So I guess that answers the question, really, doesn't it? A bathroom in a shower full of a defecating tame gorilla forever. Than actually get clean in a bath, even if it's outside.
Can I just say, if I may, I'm really enjoying this, but also there are moments where it feels like we've stumbled into the scene of an existentialist play. Like Fred, are you feeling that? Like, are you worried that you've turned up at a podcast that was written by Samuel Beckett or something like that?
Yeah, it's in the scenarios are definitely, there's some real literary imagination there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very highbrow, definitely. The kind of stuff that only a select few will understand.
Yeah.
But
So for all you, if your Venn diagram is you love comedy and you love the works of Albert Camus, then you're going to absolutely be all over this podcast.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly. So you won't watch it.
Dan?
I'd go for the shower with the gorilla, because I reckon a gorilla would make a good towel to dry herself off on. All that fur, all that hair, and the body heat that they must produce. I think it would be like if it's tame and it just gave you a cuddle, save towel washing. Just think of the money you'll save on detergent.
In outer space.
Can I ask a question before we move on to outer space and cosmology? Can I ask Fred what it doesn't have to be too specific, but what your favourite sketch that you were in on SNL and that maybe you wrote on SNL, and they might be one or they might be the same?
Well, there's two. The most fun is doing this thing called Garth and Cat with Kristen Wiig, where we sing.
Yeah.
It's a song that's made up on the spot. So that felt like the most fun. But there was this one that I wrote with John Mulaney that was a Wizard of Oz sketch. It was like it was scenes from Wizard of Oz, a character that wasn't used. And Anne Hathaway was the host, and I played a weather vane, like a sort of metal weather vane. And I just liked it. It felt like, it's something that felt like I was actually on a sketch show. You know what I mean? Like I felt like, wow, this is really a weird sketch show with costumes and stuff. So I'd say those two.
Yeah, great.
I love Garth and Cat.
Can I say? Yeah, we love Garth and Cat. We love that. It's so funny.
The royal family
Yeah.
which is everything. So funny.
And my favourite, I think, is the Memory Loss Theatre. That
yeah.
you wrote that, didn't you?
Yeah, that was like my last. That was in my last year there, and that was. I really enjoyed doing that one.
Yeah, it's so good. I love A.D. Bryant's face in that as well. So
yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this is great.
I've got so many favorites that you were in. In fact, I think the one, the Dead Poets Society reenactment that Toby's got as his backdrop, I actually think that's the funniest SNL sketch of the last 10 years. I know everyone says David Pumpkins, but for me, in terms of in terms of that, shock laugh, that it was almost like a jump scare laugh, wasn't it?
Yes, it is perfect.
I don't think I've ever reacted to anything in quite that way. I was on the floor.
I agree, and I luckily don't. I don't take credit for it since I didn't write it, so I also enjoyed it. And there's something about in the timing of the editing or something that really makes me laugh. There's something that I can't even explain that is just so funny. One of the things is that Bobby Moynihan as the teacher is just such a he's such a this professor in the beginning, and the way that he holds that head.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but that really, really made me laugh because I think he bounces it. I think he's sort of like
he juggles it and then throws it, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, something about the way that he did it always gets me.
It's such a slow build-up as well, isn't it? It's such a to the actual killer punch. And then the bit at the end where you just say, "I'm going to take off. You guys have got my email." I mean, it's just a perfect sketch.
There we go.
Hey.
Oh, Fred will be at the end now, right? So
there he is. You missed me saying that it was a perfect sketch, Fred.
But at the end, you said, I think you were saying something about the end of the sketch.
Yeah, I was complimenting you personally, how you say, I'm going to take off and you guys have got my email. I just love that very matter-of-fact joviality. Yeah.
That was, I really enjoyed that one.
I also love the thing, I love it for different reasons, where you're doing the sort of the travel team, you're that news team, and you're just recording the promo, and it's you and Jason Sudeikis and the woman from Modern Family, the Colombian woman from Modern Family, and all you have to do is turn and smile, and you end up like handing Bill Hader your wallet, taking down your trousers.
I forgot about that one. I had a weird name in it, like turn, because they kept saying turn around.
Yeah.
I forgot the character's name, but I think we tried that like a week before and it didn't go. And wow, that is such a faint memory. I'm in my office right now. I mean the office in my house, and I saved some stuff from SNL just because I love SNL. Let me see what I can find.
This is so cool.
So cool, isn't it?
SNL just because I love SNL.
Oh, that's on my watch. It's so funny.
Wow.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember what episode it's from.
Wow.
Then here's a sketch that I really liked, and that was the
Oh yes, yeah.
These are always really good.
Yeah, that was great.
Really good.
And I framed a picture of that Wizard of Oz one. I'm going to take it off of my wall right now. Or, I'm going to take it off my wall. Here we go. This is it.
Wow.
Oh, that's so good.
Wow.
That's the one I was talking about.
Brilliant.
So one thing I've always wondered, if you pitch a sketch one week and it gets binned or rejected, how much time lag before you're able to bring it back? Or can you never bring it back?
No, you could bring it back.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wait until there's like the right host for it. Like, oh, that'll actually be good for so and so. Or if there's momentum, if like all the writers are like, that's really good, keep it going. Sometimes you just feel like, let's try it again this week. But it's a weird, risky thing to do because also there's like a general feeling of like we've heard all these jokes before. So it's a tricky thing, but there's also like a little bit of pride in killing something. There's always something kind of fun about like, you know what, didn't work. That's it. Leave it. That's fine. And then it for some reason it just sort of it'll come out in other ways. Like there's other ways that it'll pop up in some other sketch. But it's kind of nice to let go of stuff. To be like, forget it. Let's just think of something totally new.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do that with a lot of the material in our podcast. I just go, yeah, Andy, that wasn't funny. We'll just let that go, and I just edit him out. So I know how that feels. So.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a good feeling.
Before you cut out, I was saying there's another sketch where you kind of explode at the end, which I wasn't expecting. I didn't see it going that way, but it was really surprising and very funny. You're in like a KFC or something, and you're the manager, and you're really angry with everybody, and then they're remember.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't know why I'm so angry, and then someone walks in and they're late or something, and then you just explode.
Yeah, that's a really, oh my God, that's a deep cut. That was from a bit I used to do with John Lutz. I don't know what it was. I would just pretend to get mad at him, and then he wrote it up as a sketch, and then we did it as like a short video. But John Lutz you've seen him on 30 Rock. He plays someone named Lutz on 30 Rock.
Yeah.
And he works on Late Night with Seth Meyers now.
How has that been? So you've kept going with Seth Meyers and doing the drumming. Where do you do it from? In there, in your office? Or?
Well, I did it from my house for a while, but then I also have this office close by, and there's nobody there. It's just like, it's almost like more like an art studio, but it's where we used to write Portlandia. And it was easier to play full-on drums from there, just look better. So I've been doing it from there. It's a crazy good fortune to be able to do that, the freedom to like play drums for the show from here.
Yeah.
It's been
Do you
really
pre-record the drum playing and then they put it all together?
Because we can't jam as a band.
Yeah.
So I play the drum part, send it to the band, and then one by one they add their part, bass adds his part. It's just, it is not like fun jamming. It's more like, like little by little building a track.
I never had Sky before, and now we've got Sky, and I've only just worked out how to record Seth Meyers' show, and that we even have it on a channel. I'm that technically challenged. So now I've worked out where to find it. I'll be watching it. I watched the one with Jane Fonda the other day. But that's and also I've been trying to find where to watch Lost Spookies, but I don't think it's here yet. So I tried to get HBO, and it
but who knows? Yeah, who knows?
So once it's on Netflix or something, or wherever it goes, and we'll definitely watch it. But I'm so annoyed that I can't watch it yet. It's the bane of my life.
It's because you speak Spanish, so it would make sense for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm terrible at practicing my Spanish, but it floods back very quickly as soon as, and I understand my mum more than anyone else, because your mum's the one that speaks it to you. So when other people speak Spanish to me, it takes me a minute to get back into that thought, everything's round the wrong way, and some words I don't understand. So I pick it up really quick if I get back into it. So I should be doing it every day. There you go. Yeah.
Shame on you.
I know. Lo siento mucho.
Oh, come on. You're great at it. Get out of here.
Muchas gracias.
Okay, stop. I'm getting lost. I didn't.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Any more questions about Fred's life and his career? Anyone itching to ask him anything before I move on to really stupid questions?
I mean, I'm happy to move on to a stupid question. I just suppose I wanted to how you rate the current SNL cast. I am really impressed with them. I think they're brilliant.
I am obsessed with SNL. I love SNL. I watch it live. I love this, just the cold open. I love beginning to end. I love the, even when they're saying goodnights at the end.
Yeah.
And I think they're brilliant. And I don't know if you saw, the latest one they did from home.
I haven't seen that one yet. No.
Oh, it's like experimental. It's great. But the cast are great. I love that the cast just keeps growing and changing and evolving. And it's like such a not precious way to be. It just keeps moving, they find new talent, and then the new talent redefines what the show is. Oh, I love it. It's great. Love them.
It's so refreshing to hear you being so enthusiastic, because we're from England and everyone here, it's sort of everyone speaks in negatives, like it's not bad. I suppose it's okay,
But that's what's charming about. I mean, that's how you guys are. But I still do feel like you guys are supportive of each other, but in a different way. But that's so funny.
Yeah, we're supportive by being mean to each other and then knowing that we love each other.
Yeah, too. We'd take a bullet for each other, but we wouldn't say thank you.
I think that the best thing that you can describe something as in the UK is pretty good.
Yeah.
High praise.
Yeah. If someone tells you that you're okay, there's a chance they want to spend their life with you. That's the bar. Yeah.
Great.
So just be careful next time you're over here.
Yes. Yeah.
I was saying to Dan, when I went to Edinburgh and I watched Julio Torres's My Favorite Shapes, because you recommended it. Oh, it was so good. It was one of the funniest live things I've seen. So I was really excited when he did the recording, and I was like, oh Dan, you've got to see it. And then that was on Sky, and we downloaded it, but it didn't download properly. It missed like the first 5 minutes, and I won't watch it without the first 5 minutes. I think you have to get the whole thing with him. Like,
no, you need it. You need the whole thing.
Huh?
Equally, you won't let me delete it though.
I won't let him delete it because I waited for so
We've got
long.
half the program we can't watch.
It's just a reminder. It's just there when we turn on the Sky, so that I can feel a bit sad that it didn't download properly, and so that we never forget that we couldn't watch it. So just, you can maybe tell Dan how good that show is, because he'll probably never see it now. But anyway,
it's still fine. You'll find it. It'll download at some point.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
If outer space could play a constant song which only women called Barbara could hear, what would it be and why?
It has to be a song that exists already.
Yeah, and it only plays at night time.
It has to be a proper song. I'm just thinking, if I was to subject every Barbara to that experience, I'd probably jump in straight away and go with something like Flight of the Valkyries.
Yeah.
That's Wagner, is it?
Yeah. She said Barbara, not Wagner.
Yeah, said Barbara.
I mean, I would probably go for Barbara Ann by the Beach Boys, so that at the very least you'd know who's named Barbara, because they would be like, oh yeah, here's my song.
Yeah. And they've probably never had anyone say Barbara, like they'd find that a real treat.
Yeah. One more. They're like, one more. That's all I need. Oh.
I don't know really. I've been thrown by that one slightly, just because the way it's almost like you're asking the sort of questions that a gatekeeper in a sort of fable asks. Yeah,
you don't know where you're going to. This is going to blow your mind when I let you through.
Yeah, exactly. There's a doorway there somewhere, and I don't know what's on the other side of it. I'm excited to find out, but I might need to get your uncle in to help me negotiate my way through your questions. But I don't know. I'm going to say Barbie Girl by Aqua from 98.
Yeah. Actually, yes.
And I think I have won the podcast.
Yes.
If not the internet. All of the podcasts have just shut down.
Dan, what did I say people will answer to this question?
You did say that, actually, Barbie Girl. It's close enough to being Barbara, that if your name was Barbara and all you heard every night was Barbie girl, wouldn't it drive you insane? That it's not Barbie, it's Barbara.
Yeah.
And you're saying that constantly every night for the rest of your life. Which
What's the percentage chance of this actually happening though, Tandy? Can I ask that? Because I don't.
Loads.
Is this on the cards? Is this like the next?
Look at what's happening in the world right now. You didn't expect to be there. It's trapped in your flat forever. Who knows if Barbaras are going to be tormented by music in the sky at night times? I don't know. I don't know. Are you asking me? I don't know. But what I'm saying is that you don't know either, and so you can't say it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I suppose, that's the one thing that we're seeing over the past, couple of months is the rest of our future is entirely unpredictable.
Yeah.
And we could be subjected to gorillas in the bathroom.
So you're saying that now everything is equally as likely?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, scientifically, yeah. Fred, if you can't get back to work, say this goes on for another year, will you start having to do your TV programs individually at your own homes and try and make it work?
Maybe. I feel like I've been, kept myself occupied enough that I'd figure something out. But I'm not enjoying the fact that it's a pandemic, but I'm sort of enjoying my house, and I have like a new relationship to things in my house. So
that sounds creepy.
You've really got to know your toaster very, very well. And my coffee machine, it won't talk to me at the moment, but that's okay because
there are aspects of it that I really do like. And I don't know, work. I feel like work and making stuff sorts itself out anyway. It's kind of nice that it gets redefined. I had all these like live shows coming up, and obviously they got canceled. But it's not. It's some. I don't feel the need of like I gotta get out there and do this stand-up show. It'll work itself out where I'll get to do something.
I certainly felt in the first week or 2 weeks of all of my gigs kind of just being stopped that I thought I was feeling like I was ready to exert all of my comedic energy onto these different nights, and then I couldn't, and so I felt really like, well, what am I going to do? This is it. It's over. I'm never going to be able to do this again. I've calmed down a bit now.
Yeah. But it'll be 2021 before you know it. All of a sudden it'll be January, and this will be like a memory. And,
I have to rewrite my entire Edinburgh show. Like the whole thing.
I know.
We have to, the main message was that we have to drastically change our lifestyle, and then it was just forced upon us. So now the entire punchline of the show is...
Yeah, your whole thing was
Didn't
about
we do
being
well?
parent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I will rewrite it.
You're still holding out for your gig in May, aren't you, Toby? You're still saying, well, it's not been cancelled.
Yeah, I'm expecting an email next week.
That happened to me yesterday, where there were some shows that I thought, oh, maybe they'll happen, and then yesterday I found out they were canceled. So I don't know why I was surprised, but
yeah, my kids don't really care. Like I keep going to them, like, "Are you okay? Do you understand what's going on? Like, do you want a hug?" They're just like, yeah, we get to play Fortnite.
Yeah. my daughters have started referring to 4 weeks ago as back on old Earth, which is like really freaking me out.
I think trying to explain this whole situation to a 10-year-old is like saying, look, it's like Voldemort has returned and anyone could be a Death Eater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Toby, don't ever talk to my kids.
Yeah.
But
well, hopefully you'll have already given them the pet talk not to trust anyone, and then that's it. It's nice. No, it's all right.
Oh, sorry, I'm not listening to you, Toby. I'll listen to you tomorrow when I listen to it again.
I'm glad that the laugh will come.
I was smiling. Look, that smile was a genuine smile of enjoyment.
Yeah. I can only see Fred now, so I can confirm he was smiling while you were chatting away. Yeah. Don't have any more questions. I should have written some more creative questions, but we have like 7 minutes left before I bring this to a close. So Andy, you can start being aggressive and weird towards Fred now, like you are with other guests, if you want to.
I would never do that. I would never do that to Fred.
You had any unusual fundraising things going on over in America? Anyone locally been doing anything weird and wonderful to
Yeah,
raise?
there've been a bunch of them. I never know where the money goes exactly. I just trust it. You know, we're doing a fundraiser for this, and then I'm just like, that sounds good. Well, let's do it. So I never know how many people are really watching, or because everyone's doing it. But if it's for, you know, it's kind of nice to do stuff for what I'm assuming is for good causes. The ones I really like are the ones that are for like local businesses. So if there's like I know there's one restaurant nearby where we're trying to raise funds for them, and so that stuff like that, I like. That's very like literal and simple. So.
Yeah, I like the one that you did for Oxfam, where you were at the window playing with your gloves and your mask on.
Oh yes, that was that was really surreal because we had to do this actual social distancing, so we just did it through the window, and it was funny. I drove up and then I would just text them the whole time, like, okay, what window is it? Okay, here's the window. I'll pop up in this whole thing. And
Imagine if you got the wrong house.
oh my god, that would be bad. But that was a fun one for sure.
They'd be like, oh my gosh, there's like a weird guy playing music in the garden. It's really scary. And then, hang on, is that Fred Armisen?
Yeah, I was with Courtney Barnett, and that was cool as hell.
Captain Tom Moore, who's 99-year-old World War II veteran, who's done 100 laps of his garden on one of those wheeled Zimmer frames. You know, they look like a bit like a toddler's walker.
Yeah.
Go along on, and he's raised £18 million.
What?
For the NHS? Yeah. It's just gone absolutely viral across the UK. He's raised £18 million. 99-year-old guy. 100 laps of garden.
Like he goes and then you donate to his site or something?
Yeah, I think he did like a Patreon or one of these crowdfunding charity things. They said donate here, it will go to the NHS. This is what I'm doing. He's 100, and it wasn't a short. You've seen the video, and it wasn't a small garden. It was a reasonable length garden. Absolutely amazing.
He's so surprised. It's so sweet.
Yeah, there's talks about him potentially being knighted in the UK now. There's a sign up, and people try to get him knighted or recognised by the Prime Minister, or the Queen. So
and the good thing about the modern age is that once you're knighted, you don't actually have to go and fight in any crusades, because that would be more of it would be a curse rather than a blessing, I think, for Tom.
At 99.
Yeah.
Tough.
I thought about trying to get 99 one-year-old toddlers with walkers to do one lap of my garden. But really hard to round them up.
You didn't get the same.
I didn't get
like a WrestleMania for Rugrats.
yeah.
If they want to do the knighting during lockdown and they want to keep the Queen safe, you could always dress up and do it, couldn't you, Fred?
Sure, happy to.
Yeah.
I'd have to get an outfit and everything, but I'd be happy to do it.
Yeah.
Have you not kept your costume from SNL?
No, they've held on to it. All that stuff, all that cool stuff.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Can you do the Queen now for us?
I do, yeah. I do like a naughty now. I will. I do.
That's so great. Thank you
honored.
so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We're so grateful that you came on to do this, because
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
we're massive fans, especially like Andy and myself. I think we're better fans than Dan and Toby, aren't we? We love SNL, and
That's how it is. But thanks
That's
you
still big
guys.
fans.
I really appreciate you inviting me, and it's really nice to be in touch with all you guys so far away.
Have you got much else on today? Anything exciting?
This is going to sound like what everyone's doing, but I'm just organizing stuff in my house, but I'm doing a really good job of it, I have to say.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've seen pictures of friends who've said, I found a brand new pair of shoes that I'd forgotten I bought ages ago, like in the back of a...
So much of that. So much of it. And then also piles of garbage. And I'm like, why? Why do I have this? Full on garbage that is immediately garbage. I'm like, why did I keep this for a second? So there's a lot of that happening, which is great. It's a great feeling. Throw it away.
Are you a hoarder, Fred? Is there loads of stuff just out of shot that's...
I'm not a hoarder, but there are just, you know what it is? It's when something is a gift. That's a tricky thing. So it's like, oh, this is a present from someone and I can't just throw it out right away. And then there's stuff that I haven't like explored yet. So like there'll be like some DVD screeners and I'm like, why did I, I just didn't want to deal with it. So I'm like, this gets tossed.
Yeah. I found the lost city of Atlantis in my flat as I was clearing stuff out. I mean, I don't know, I've only been here a year, so it doesn't really make sense why I should have found it, but I don't make the rules.
Tell the authorities.
Yeah. There could be a reward.
Yeah.
Immortality or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's been my Friday.
Is it Marie Kondo that does all the organising?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good. I think my mum would like me to be her. My mum came around and reorganised everything like that in my room when I wasn't looking. I didn't know she was doing it. And then I'm like, wow. And it was amazing for about 6 weeks. And now it's all back to just miscellaneous. I don't know where anything is, but I can't be someone else. So.
Yes, you can.
Well, I can now. Thanks for the encouragement. That was the day I changed. I'm speaking in past tense because when this comes out, it will be another day.
Yeah,
that's right.
This will be the flashback in the biopic.
That's right.
When kids are doing their school projects in the future about Tandy, this will be the real changing point during the COVID vaccination.
Yeah.
Thank you. Did you just say vaccination?
I did say vaccination. I thought I'd covered that up and no one had heard.
We all did.
Pandemic.
You all heard it. Make sure it's kept in. And
Thank you so much, Fred, for being on our podcast. You're brilliant, and we hope that you stay safe and stay well, and keep in touch.
You too, guys. I'll see you
Take
later.
care.
thanks, Fred. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Should we try that
Well
again?
done, well done, Andy. You reined yourself in,
I really did.
and you still said lots of great things.
I thought that went really well.
I did as well. Isn't he nice? He's such a nice
so
guy.
nice.
Yeah.
He's the best guest ever.
He was a great guest.
He was lovely. Yeah.
He was. Oh, do you remember? Do you remember when he was on?
Joined a bit early, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And,
brilliant. Yeah.
Like, that was so weird. I
What
test
about-
nothing. It's so weird asking him about a sketch that I've watched about 100 times and being able to ask him about that. The closest I've come to a similar scenario was when in the late 80s, Gordon Banks, the England goalkeeper, came into my primary school and did a meet and greet. He lived in Stoke. His grandson, Matthew, went to the same primary school as me. And so I was able to ask him what it was like to make that amazing save from Pele's header, which was amazing. But it's weird how your memory works. We only have so much inbuilt RAM, don't we? So I've noticed that a lot of my memories over time will start operating a buddy system. They'll kind of pair up to form one mega memory. So although rationally I'm aware that Gordon Banks is a totally separate memory from another event that happened that same year, where the reptile man came in and showed us lizards and snakes, and we were able to handle those a little bit. Although I know those are two very separate events, because of the way my memory works, as I remember it, at some point in 1989, England's greatest ever goalkeeper came into my primary school and fed a dead mouse to a python.
Oh dear. Sorry. That's funny, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can be like Marie Kondo.
Yeah, you
I
can.
can.
Yeah, you can
It's the
be.
new you.
Dan really wants me to be like Marie Kondo.
When you consider his body of work as well, you know, it just as an aside. Oh yeah, I was writing this sketch with John Mulaney, and you
Really
think,
scared that you were going to just say his body then and be
Yeah,
rude.
yeah.
He does have a body, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah.
he has a body, but I wasn't really paying attention to that because I'm interested in his mind because I'm not shallow.
When Fred started by saying that there's so much news that he's just stopped reading it, I really wanted to jump in and say, oh, no, I've read all the news.
I
Why don't you
finished
put your
it.
sunglasses back on? Put your sunglasses back on and just go, I've read all the news, and I'll cut it in.
Yeah, okay. Oh, no, I've read all the news. And it turns out right at the end, it's just a load of cartoons about ferrets. What?
That was, yeah, okay. Andy, did you feel like you got your answers from your computer game that you love from Fred Armisen?
I liked being able to chat to him about it. Yeah. I don't think I got the answers, but I'm not sure anyone's got the answers for me. I've searched ancient literature for the answers and all the Greeks. I mean, those guys. They were.
Oh, they did a great yogurt, didn't they?
They did a great yogurt, and they had a lot of good ideas. But when you're basically wearing beachwear the whole time, like even for formal events, you come to the point where you think, I'm not sure how much I trust you.
Everyone just wave and go bye. Ready? Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Are we leaving? Close it. We don't want to hear you wee. Toby wants to hear her wee.
I'm leaving, okay? It will carry on recording until you leave, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, Tandy. Oh, I'm going to leave her.